Oh, how's everybody doing? Yo, this is truly amazing. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause again. Yeah, this is truly amazing. I ain't even lying. Andrew, big up yourself, me youth. You smash it. So, I came to know Andrew like what, maybe some 3 months ago. We had shared a few mutual friend. And he told me about Andrew because he heard about stuff that I was doing. So before I continue about, well, let me finish talk about Andrew because Jano, the man tell me it and here I am. He got a hold of me through that mutual friend and said, yo, my brother, I'm putting together something and I really need you to come and speak to the lived experience of things that's happening because you're a unicorn in our world. So my name is Renford Farrier, and I'm recently released from federal custody. I'm just home a year and a half now after spending 32 years in federal prison. Some of you wasn't even born yet, seeing? And someone on a good 1 and 2 year old. Right? Yeah, so I'm originally from Jamaica, born, migrate to the 6th, Shoreham, raised, Jane Junior High, the Lane, the whole light, that's how the Jane and Finch. Right? What I didn't tell you, while it was 32 years, I was only originally sentenced to 10. And the system that is Correctional Services of Canada found a way to keep me an additional 32 years beyond my sentence, not for any crimes that I was committing inside, not for new time, nothing, other than the fact that you see the black skin and I wouldn't bend to the will. So Andrew, being somebody who had been inside, had heard about me, and for anybody who's been into the penitentiary and done federal prison time, it's like a fraternity. When you hear one is out here doing well, and he calls on you to get on that ship in a row, you say, can I be at the front of the ship? Because there ain't many of us that come out here and doing well, because that's not what it's designed for. I recently started to do some checking because I found it interesting when speaking to young people. I'm noticing just a trend, and it's like we're losing generations of young black men. At present that I speak to you here today, they represent 40% of the incarceration in juvenile and young offender and only represent 8% of the population. That's a whole generation of young men gone, right? I was telling a brethren just a while ago, the young men need the middle ones, and the middle ones need the older ones, and the old ones need to start to talk. Because we are going like so we can't talk to them youth, yeah. As a man say, yo, them youth are crazy, you know? My youth, set up yourself straight. We can't talk to them. That's why that are going. No, we not talk to them. And when I say talk to them, don't lecture them, because you know kids turn their ears off when you try to lecture and act like you wasn't their age and doing dumb stuff. You know, we was all teenagers, so we all did dumb stuff. Some of us just paid higher consequences than some of us, right? So remember that, because the youth's important, fam. You know, like, we can't be scared of them, you know? And like the brethren I said, yo, when I grew up in my 45 a top machine. Right now you would laugh off of that, because them on the chip. Seeing when them press it, 32 jump out one time, brah. Everybody dead except somebody who dead. That's what we're faced with, a bunch of psychos. So we gotta learn how to communicate with them, right? And since I've been out here, that's been part of my soul mission, working with Farley Flex. You guys know the celebrity and a team of people named Urban Res. Seeing, we've been putting in a lot of work with the organization that I'm currently employed with, John Howard Society. And we're doing straight work trying to figure out ways how to help our black community, especially young black men, right? Because I was one of them. Like I said, I grew up in Jane and Finch. From the age of 15, I'm carrying my gun. And my training didn't come in Jane and Finch. My training came in Bushwick. That's New York for those who don't know, right? So when I came to Canada, I was fully advanced, fully active before I got here. And I was a dumb 15, 16-year-old kid, thought I was a man, you know, and I was doing men things. So for sure, I'm a man. 15, 16, 17, you're still a kid, right? But when you are forced to grow up and live and obtain adult responsibilities, your young mind tells you you're an adult, you know? And I took a course in life that, while it was some horrible choices, those choices led me to be here today, to actively can speak on it from a real live lens. You know what I mean? I wasn't talking about that life. I actively lived it out in the world, and I actively lived it in prison. Because I was of the mindset, if you're in a predatory world, you got to be the apex predator. And I perfected that. But it served no purpose other than to hold me back, blind me, confuse me, and let me not see the clear picture of what these devils were doing to me. We're in a system that they're able to manipulate us through their words and the things that they say about it. And a lot of us fall victim to it, not even realize we're being brainwashed into it. It took me a lot of years to realize I was being brainwashed. And then it took even more courage to admit that I'd been brainwashed, because I thought I was hard as fuck. You're talking to somebody who's been to Canada's highest prison, which is called a Super Max, 4 times. So there was never no break in me, ever. I spent over 7 years in segregation. That made a man out of me, right? But little did I realize that man was being manipulated to think he was a monster and to perpetrate the picture that they were creating. And like I said, it was further down in life that I started to understand things and realize I'm losing my life and losing this battle against people who are trying to kill me. I'm giving them my life, you know? And I heard the earlier panel how much they reflected on God, right? And for myself, I converted to Islam in prison, and since 2011, I've prayed my 5 salat faithfully every day, right? And I grew up in a Christian home, being Jamaican. You know what I mean? And most of my friends being Jamaican, being Caribbean, you don't know a Christian thing. So the convert to Islam was confusing for individuals, because they were like, my youth, right? And God is God, my youth. No matter how you want to go to him, a God, saying, him not have 10 head, 10 and 10, what a one. You see me? So if you want to go to him as a Buddhist, Christian, Jew, Muslim, he's an on-time God all the time. Not your time, you know. Because your time, I know, a human being, we're not a patient. But him is an on-time God. When you need it, you get it. Over the course of the 32 years, people asked me, how come you didn't give up? First of all, I'm Jamaican, fam. We're not made that way. That's the first thing. Second of all, I come from a Jamaican mother. I call her the general. I'm from a single home. My mother's the general. To this very day, I'm a man of 53, 54 years with grandkids. And if my mother said, my youth, come here, it's double time. What you need, ma'am? Youths are missing that today. They don't honor their moms. We got to find a way how to get these young men to start to honor their moms again. See, because in the Dean, it tells you the quickest ways to paradise is under the bottom of your mother's feet. And once you understand that, the levels you must revere and hold your women up to, the way to paradise is under the bottom of your mother's feet, my friend. See, that is the level of the woman. You know, see it. And we're losing that too. The big man said, since there you have man look upon like a picnic and I take them like them a big woman. Fire. My youth, get your size. See, the turn picnic in an old age before time. And at for reverse, because some of the women them a take for the young youth them to stop it. Get your size. See, no, real talk. See, so like, when we talk today about resilience, like I told you, I spent over 7 years in segregation, and I was sent to the Supermax 4 separate occasions. And each time I never thought I would make it, because of the mental energy it took to be able to endure that time and time again. I heard the brother give a quote today. For 28 years, I lived by a quote. Every morning I got up, you got to be stronger today than you was yesterday. I said that to myself every morning I brush my teeth. Every morning. Woke up and brushed my teeth and looked at myself in the mirror. You need to be stronger today than yesterday. Because every day in prison was a new challenge. And on a mental level, the challenges was extreme. Because we know as black people, we don't work with mental, with tough. We not have nervous breakdown. We not depressed. We not have none of them things that suit up yourself, my youth. You're weak or what? And we tell that to each other. See how we laugh? Like, you know, and we got to find a way how that uncomfortable thing I just said, the norm, like so many other things are. Right? I spent my time busy in trying to bring mental health awareness to black people. It's okay to say I'm fucked. Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel like being vulnerable is being weak. My G, being vulnerable is being honest. Right? There's no human amongst us that doesn't feel vulnerable or have vulnerability and isn't scared, and you're not an anomaly. Believe it. Right? We got to feel okay with the things we say to the people we say them to, right? Because if we're not able to have the conversations, we're not going to change anything. You know what I mean? Like you see me here, I was a lot of those young kids that you see out there right now. I'm not telling a lie. The fire that I was moving with, nobody could have come told me nothing because you'd have got fire, right? But after spending 3 decades in prison, and I started to see generationally how it was, because when I went to prison in 1992, 92, it was all grown white men, tattoo-looking, biker, weird dudes, right? You had a 1-2 black man. For the most part, that's what prison was. And then as I want to say, the 2005s hit, it's like they just open up the roof and drop black youth in there. Boom. The place full. And you went from 5 to like 50 in the matter of a moment. And you said, what the fuck? And then you realize they all kids. Right? They all kids, but they all have this energy and this fire and this a different hate, you know, and a different idea of what life is. I heard the pastor that said when he was in England how the man them crying their self and think, me not telling a lie, pastor, me to take that personal, because me never cry. Then, me they too afraid for worry about cry. Me not, what? At the age of freaking 20, going into Canada's most dangerous federal prison with the murder rate above any in Canada, Kingston Penitentiary, 92. I was terrified as a 20-year-old. But I didn't cry, Pastor. Don't say that again. But no, like, I understand what he's saying, because a lot of these dudes that are out here, they think they can handle it. And when they get there, it's a different lifestyle. First of all, every day you got to strip naked for a man. So if you don't have that mental fortitude, right away you've become weakened, because that's the plan, to dehumanize you. Anybody can handle, well, not anybody, but most people can handle not having your freedom, because it's relative, right? Because a lot of people live inside their homes right now anyway, not going nowhere, right? Y'all, most of you survived through COVID, didn't go nowhere. That was loss of freedom. That's relative. But when you compound the fact that now my brother here comes to visit me, and when I go see him, I got to strip my clothes, strip naked to go see him. The visit's done, I got to strip my clothes again. So that's 2 strips, 1 day already. See? In front of a dude that his presence is making you know I am the authority over here while you were standing naked in front of me, right? To further dehumanize you. And that is the plan. So I've been trying to bring awareness to the fact that your basic freedom is the least of your worry when you've become incarcerated. Okay? The fact that another human being controls everything about your life. And I say everything. Like when you sleep, when you wake up, when you shower, when you get fresh air, when you eat, all of that is done for you. If they decide you don't flush your toilet, the water's turned off, you can't flush it. Imagine you're in your bathroom, in your house, and it's full of piss and you can't flush it. How you that feel? But, and then do in that too. How you would have feel? You're not going to the bathroom? Talk it truth. No, go in there. Imagine having to live in there days. Right? You're condemned. So imagine you have to sleep in there. Okay, fam? That's life of prison. You know what I mean? And some of those youths, when they come here, because we're not understanding what's happening there, we're not giving them the chances when they get here. Myself, Andrew, we are not the norm. We are anomalies, guys who come out and are successful. Right? And that's because they're not being given the skills to prepare them to get out here, because they want that rotating door. Right? So part of that strip search and these things that I was telling you about is to break down your confidence. So when I release you, you're a shell of yourself. And if I release a weak person, he has no strength, no confidence, none of these things to try to go better his life. So what does he do? Take his non-confidence, all these things, put them into negative energy, we back where we started, in a courtroom, going back to jail. And this is the process, and this is the cycle, and we need to find ways to change that. That's a community. Me hear the big man I said no more community no exist. And I true talk. Because one time gone, you know, if a man go away and come back, we find a way to help him. Real talk. Yo, you know what? Jim have one story, you know, you could have go working then. You know, I'm going to talk to him and say we can go on for you. Everybody had a plug. Now mans go away and come home, everybody act like he got COVID. Stay away from him. He was in prison. Right? So the man got all his dignity taken away from him, come home to his community looking to get help, only to be ostracized and put to the side. So what you think gonna happen? Right? And then we blame, say, you see it? Them not learn. Them just to go back at jail. No, my youth. We not bring them in. We not help them. We not make them know, say, yo, even after all of that, you still welcome. How can we help? How? Because minus that criminal record, you would have helped them. If it was just a black man seeking assistance and you do nothing about that criminal record, chances are you'd have got up and helped. But just like most of our society, sorry to say, you've been brainwashed to think that the man, them that have went away and come back are bad. So you believe that too, that they're bad, and without reason, some of them set away, real talk. See, but that no mean say, yo, the man them that deserve care, love, and help. No matter how them set, yo, if we don't help nobody gonna help us, eh? Believe that. See, don't think if we don't help anybody else are gonna help we. I live in Halifax right now. 2 reasons. The 6 was too big for my ass to come back after 32 years. Real talk. Right now, I drive around with my brother and my lass. I stopped looking at places to remember. The other day, I was on the 401 driving past Falstaff. I'm not tell you no lie. If somebody never tell me, I wouldn't know. And I drove that highway umpteens a time as a youth. The other day we went down, he brought me down to the lake shore. Everything a glass. Seeing everything, I'm in the George Jetsons, fam. Like, you don't even know. Cause, no, real talk. Yo, when me left, every building a brick. Be a brick building, everything a brick. Yo, fam, me forward a glass, tall, in the sky. I was like, whoa. When I left here, when you drove on the Gardner there, you could see the Sky Dome live, are the only thing we're there. When you know Air Canada Center? Tell you how long ago when I left was Sky Dome. The other day we were driving and the man said, can you see the Sky Dome? Where was it? Up here, tall building. But I love the city though, and like I love the energy I get from it, you know? And like I said, right now I'm based out of Halifax, right? And I do these seminars quite frequently in the universities and schools. And there's a roaming theme that I found since I've come home. That black folks like to categorize themselves like African Torontonian, Nova Scotian African, and everybody's trying to categorize themselves. Fam, I'm here to tell you, the white people oppression, you don't care. You black. They could give 2 shits if you African, Nova Scotian, Toronto, Woodia. My youth, you're black. And that alone matter. See? So when I say that, leg of the tribal war. Just join us black and we're good. Remember me tell you, cause nobody no better than black. White people in the house no feel no way. We take on help. So like, no, cause I don't want the white people to feel like say, yo, well, yo, You guys are welcome on the bus, real talk. But no says black one and black driven. See, and I saw the thing off a set, right? So, yo, you see the next time you have a bad thought to one of your brothers, just think to yourself, fuck. I wonder what kind of day he's having, right? Just have one moment of pause, seeing, and turn it into something positive. And remember, it's going to benefit you more than him, you know. Real talk. See, it might go feel good in the moment, but it will last you a lifetime. And anybody who should know say is a faith thing and God thing, you know, say my youth. Everything that we have here, none of it comes with us. What goes with us is our deeds. And you want to have more good deeds than bad deeds. Because that's what's going to go with you. See? So remember that and keep that in thought. And in terms of resilience, if you believe in God, bro, fam, that's all the resilience you need. God, my youth, a 32-year Father God preserve me, a prison. I did 28 of that maximum and supermax. Look at me. I'm none for worse to wear. That's the grace of God, fam. You seen me if I didn't tell you. If I didn't tell you I was away for that long, none of y'all would have known. Alhamdulillah. Praise be to God, yo. Done know. Thank you. Bless. Big up.
For what? He's getting released today. Oh, shit. Serious? Here we go again.
They locked me down for some past years. Handed themselves like a cashier. No money, just time given. I really live this. That's why my rhymes vivid. Freedom is a must, though. When you believe in them.